Welcome back to How to Souls. My name is Rach and today we're going to continue with our walkthrough of Dark Souls 2! Scholar of the First Sin. So this is only part 2, so all we did last time was the tutorial and we had a wee tour of Majula. We didn't go through everything, but I'm going to leave some things for like later on in the walkthrough because this place does become a lot more populated as you play through. As you start, there are a few options to you, but there's only 2 actual viable ones. You can go around here, along the coast, sort of past this broken wall, and through this tunnel here, and that'll take you to the Forest of Fallen Giants. But there is actually another area that you can start with, one that is actually very easy if you chose to start as a cleric. So I mentioned that in part 1 when we were picking our class, that I quite like to start as the cleric because I get a mace and it makes Heide's Tower of Flame pretty laughable. Compared to other classes. So if you started as anything other than a cleric, I suggest you go into the Forest of Fallen Giants, and I will link the part of the walkthrough that has that area in the cards above for you now, so you can skip to that part and then you can always skip to this part after when you do come to do this area. But we're going to Heide's, which is down here through this tunnel just behind Shalquar's little hut here. We've got a little bit of a walk before we actually get there, so we can catch up. So I hope you're well. Welcome. As always, How to Souls, your place, your hub, your Majula, as it were, for all types of Souls content. We have done Dark Souls 1, Demon Souls walkthroughs, and now it's time for Dark Souls 2. I'm really, really enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Remember, you can subscribe if you want to see all the videos, Elden Ring videos coming soon. I'm playing a lot of Elden Ring actually, but not actually making a lot of content on it. I don't know, when I play I want to be a hermit and just sit quietly, I don't know. There's a shield here, Crimson Parma. It's not a particularly like tit-blowing shield, it's alright, it's got 75% block, but if you don't have a shield, if you didn't start with a shield and you really, really want a shield, it's a shield and it's available right at the start. So come up here, pull this lever, and then quickly, well, semi-quickly, decently quickly make your way through this little sluice. I think it's called a sluice, or like the river is called a sluice and the gate is a sluice gate. If you ever want to get back, like if you're like, oh heck, I forgot a thing, you could go, where's the lever to get back? I've actually forgotten where the lever is to get back. Oh, it's here. It's on this side. Yeah, it's up here if you want to get back. Oh, if you forgot your thing. Guys, don't forget your thing. You can pull it that way to get back. But, a little shiny here. Broken Thief Sword. Pfft. How desperate do you think I am? And a Soul of the Lost Undead. Souls are good. Hard souls are always good. Soft souls, of course, being my 410 in the bottom right, and hard souls being stuff that goes into my inventory that can be used at any time. Heide's Tower of Flame. So if you're playing a vanilla version of this place is going to look a lot different. It's not going to be filled with these Heide Knights. But on Scholar, they added these guys, which I guess makes a lot of sense because the Heide Knights being in Heide's Tower of Flame, it makes a lot of sense. So these guys only attack you if you attack them. Which is really cool. So I advise just simply not attacking them. I know. They do give cool things, like they drop cool armor and cool weapons, but like you're not really equipped at this stage in the game to fight them. So we're gonna beeline actually for that bonfire down there. Just ignore this big knight and give that a light. Dark Souls 2, you only need to light a bonfire to activate respawning at it. I know in Dark Souls 1 you had to light it and rest at it, but in Dark Souls 2 you just have to light it. And you can travel, you can warp from the very start of the game as well, something you couldn't do in the previous game, which is cool. But yeah, that's worth pointing out. If you're ever like, you know, you can't light a bonfire if an enemy is right beside it, but we were able to just make a little sprint for it there. Cool, so we have a respawn point. I'm going to just set a good example and I'm going to put my clothes on because I love running around naked, but like it's not, like I said, we're setting a good example here. So this cloak, it might not look like much, but it actually has really decent defense. So you can compare it to like the imported tunic that we started with, and it's actually, it's decent, but it is quite heavy. So it is going to give us a medium roll because we're over 25%. You will notice that armor has scaling. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the only game, I could be wrong, where armor has scaling. So this has an A, and then obviously my other one has a B. I wouldn't worry about it, guys. I wouldn't worry about it. And yeah, okay, right, we're wearing that armor. We've got our stuff. We've got our mace. Our mace is all we need. Just two-hand the mace. It's fine. I should probably put my Estus flask like on my bars. So there we go. Estus flask. I never took the shard to the Emerald Herald. Oh, this shard that we found. Yeah, you take that to the Emerald Herald. I was just very excited. I was excited to be recording my walkthrough, and I forgot it happens. But yeah, so we've only got one Estus at the minute, but we can get two by handing in that shard. So these guys are quite slow, so the way that I like to fight them is just by sort of rolling around the back of them. They do a 3-hit combo, and then you can counter with the mace, and the mace just wrecks them. They drop these blue eye orbs, again, online items, so don't worry about it. The soldiers with the great hammers are a little different. They're a little bit harder than the ones with the swords. So these guys are gonna... They've got a much bigger combo, and I feel like they have much better tracking, so you're probably gonna get hit by these ones a lot. But because we have the mace, we also hit them quite a lot, so... Yeah. I just get around behind him. Yeah, they're kind of slow. So we just wait for a good opening. Like that. And take him down. There we go. And we've got plenty life gems. Don't ever like save life gems. Just use them. You're going to find quite a lot of them. So over here we've got a human effigy and a soul of a nameless soldier. We've found out quite a few like hard souls so far. So like if you did want to like use them all and go back and level up a little bit and maybe get some ADP or some health or just whatever you want to feel comfortable with, like you can do that. Because like I said, fast travel, teleporting, warping is available from the start, so that's pretty cool. So coming up here, we've got this guy who seems kind of reserved. He's sort of like guarding something. So you can ignore him and just like run away, or we could be a little bit more curious and watch the edge, mind the gap. So I like to wait for their 3 hits and then counter with... Oh no, I knew that was gonna happen. As soon as I said, right, mind the gap, mind the edge, I was like, I just feel a bit of vertigo here. Like I feel like Call of the Void. I just knew that was gonna happen. Right. See, look, it happens to the best of us. And what I wanted to do is I just wanted to show you, right, what happens when you go hollow. So you get a little bit grey, you get a little bit, well, ugly. And you can kind of see up there, my health has like diminished by like 5%. So my health bar is like smaller than it should be. So you can use a human effigy to get that looking back to normal and also getting your face looking back to normal. The more you die, like if you die again and again, it just gets smaller and smaller. You start losing your hair. It's a bad time. So yeah, that's what it was. I just wanted to show you that that's what happens, you know? I did it on purpose. Yeah. Okay, I'll make my way back up here again. There's my souls! So your puddle glows with a really cool like green glow in this game. It's so green. So wait for the 3, we're gonna do 1 hit and then just like back away. Back away. There we go, right, so we can take him out now. Yeah, we do so much damage, it feels so good, man. Right, so when you kill this guy, this lever comes out of a hole in the ground and you can pull this lever and then watch this arena like just opposite me here. Okay, so an extra like section of the arena rises out of the water. So you want to find this lever. There is a second lever and it will make the upcoming boss much easier. much easier. He's quite difficult on the tiny platform unless you cheese him. But yeah, so 1 lever here, the other one is in this room here. So this room is a bit scarier. You've got 3 of these guys. 1's a great sword, 2 have swords and shields. Yeah, little bit scarier. You want to be a little bit more cautious. Or just do what I do, and actually the opposite of caution is just like run in there, get this guy down as fast as possible. The two at the side are not going to attack until you kill the big one. Okay, so we're going to try and get him down. Don't panic if you, like, are fighting the two of them. Oh, the other one's lost interest. The other one doesn't even care. Maybe because I was, like, fighting over here. He doesn't even care, man. So when we kill the middle one, I think it's the first one, you just have to kill the first one, and the lever comes up here, so we'll pull this. And that brings that, you can just see it. It brings, like, the final line, the final, like, rim out of the water for the boss arena. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that path that way, where that, like, total clueless guy is guarding, this goes to a different boss, and not a boss that we're going to be attempting this early in the game. It's not so much the boss that's difficult, it's the thing that's guarding the boss, in my opinion, that's just, we're not quite ready for that yet. I'm just playing with him because I'm a chatterbox. And these guys give 400 souls, which is kind of nice at this stage in the game. So if you do want some souls, like, you know, and you've got a mace, they're pretty easy, really. Just stick behind them, they're quite slow. So we're going down here. Once again, that is like the right-hand path. The left-hand path we're going to go down later. We've got another one of these hammer bros here, which again, I do find them just that little bit more dangerous. As you can see, let's pop a life gem. Oh, I'm out of stamina. There we go. We like the slow hits. We like the slow one. That gives us time to circle around. Okay. Oh, over here. Oh, this is another change. Obviously, they didn't have these guys in the original. So the game like wants you to like hit him to see what's in the treasure chest. I advise against it. I mean, you can. I'm going to put an edit and I'm going to say like what's in the chest. So if you're feeling brave, go for it. Just bear in mind, once you hit one of them, I believe, I could be wrong, but once you hit one of them, all of them will now be hostile. So enjoy that. I advise against it. That's all I'm saying. But I'm not your dad. So like, I can't tell you what to do. But I mean, if you want this, ping, then go for it. But we're going to go over here to the fog wall, and this is the boss. So heal up if you're missing some health, which I am. Just with our heal here. Our heal is the thing that we want to use when we are safe. So not in the middle of combat. Just when we're sort of chill because it's free. Life gems, obviously, I said use them, but like, if you've got heal, use heal first when you're safe. Life gem, save that for when you're in combat. The Estus flask, it's so slow. It's really quite hard to get used to the timing on the Estus during combat, so life gems are actually better. But yeah, you'll see. I mean, you'll see. There's plenty of time for that. We've got a whole walkthrough worth of time for that. But for now, we're going to go for our first boss. There's no tutorial boss in this game. There is only Dragonrider. So, again, he's a heavily armored character, so our mace is going to do wonders against this guy. I wouldn't really advise going for more than 2 hits. 2 hits only if you're, like, completely confident getting 2. Like, I'm just going to get the 1 there. His forward, like, thrusting attacks, obviously you can dodge to the side, but he does sometimes do a sweep attack, like there, which can catch you, roll catch you, if your ADP is low, or if your equipment load is too high. Because obviously higher equipment load gives you less, like, rolling invulnerability. So he's got his shield up here, no point in attacking while his shield's up. We're just going to have to, like, sort of try and bait him into attacking us. I do really like the sort of, like, ground slam attacks. They look, there you go, I got roll caught there, even though I was rolling. That's it's not a skill issue. It's not a skill issue. It's an ADP issue. But yeah, just the basic, like, Dark Souls, like, roll behind him and attack him. We managed to stagger him there. Poise is really odd in this game. It's really odd. Don't worry about it. But yeah, the mace, you're gonna find the mace, especially when we start dual wielding, does a lot of like poise damage, a lot of stagger. But yeah, Dragonrider, in my opinion, pretty simple, really good first boss to start with if you are using the mace. If you're finding him tricky, obviously do check that you've raised both parts of the arena, and also just bear in mind a lot of his like side sweeps do have roll catch, so you try and just like get behind him at all times, and hopefully you won't get caught out by that. But we get a huge amount of souls. Look how many souls we have, 16k. So we're gonna put these to great use, like pretty much immediately, to bolster our strength at the start of the game. So the bonfire is up here. We're gonna light this and then chat to this NPC here to get her to move, basically. So anytime you find an NPC just out in the wild, just anywhere but Majula, you want to exhaust their dialogue, so keep talking to them until they start repeating themselves. And then usually that's a sign that they're about to move, either move to a different area, like a later area, or move back to Majula. So in this lassie's case, she does move to Majula, and we need her to access a future area. So it's very important you find her and you chat to her.
Are you from these parts? My name is Licia. I have come to spread the art of miracles, a practice of which I am a disciple. I can see that you are well suited to comprehend their wondrous power. But the cost of it, that's for your heart to decide.
So that the particular line of dialogue, if I'm not mistaken, is because we started as a cleric and we have quite high faith skill. I think she would have been like, I doubt you can comprehend them, or something like that, like if you don't have enough faith. Something like that. Little things. There's a couple other caster teachers. What's the word I'm going for? Spell trainers. Who just outright, they just won't talk to you. They will not like offer to sell you spells unless you have a certain amount of intellect. So that's kind of cool. If I'm not mistaken, Dark Souls 1 didn't have that. If I'm not mistaken. So Licia sells medicals. You can get a chime if you didn't already get the free one in Majula. Just get the free one. She sells this Ring of Prayer, 5 extra faith, ludicrously expensive. You're not going to need that yet. Don't worry about it. And some spells. Look, lightning bolt, lightning spear. This is a cool spell. A really cool spell. It's only got 3 uses though. It got very heavily nerfed in the I keep wanting to say expansion. In Scholar, in the remake basically of Dark Souls 2. It got very heavily nerfed. This spell used to be amazing. It's still pretty cool, but it's nah. It's nah. Force is another offensive medical. It's like a laser. A laser? It's like a spell. Caress and Prayer. The Cure, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's the Cure Poison. Cure Poison. Actually, that could be worth picking up. But it's 15 faith, so it will require a little bit of investment. Up to you. Up to you. Poison is not that scary, I don't think. I don't know. Could be worth it. Yeah. We're gonna get her to move, and then we can buy these whenever we want. But yeah, just worth like, you spend your souls however you want it. But I've got plans for these babies, so just, you know what, it's up to you. So yeah, chat to her.
I'd heard awful rumors about this place, and I'm afraid they were all true. The king, gone. The earth, ravaged. The burden on the people weighs heavy. I fear that, by now, they may have scarce room in their hearts for miracles.
I don't know, maybe you should trust people.
Why did I come here? Well, do I need any other reason than to spread the gospel of miracles? My preceptor always said this art should be shared with the world. And such is my only wish.
She's so full of crap.
Sometimes I fight the urge to pack up and go back home. It is... well, I must do this. And being out here all alone only makes this a more fitting test of my fortitude. I expected this cathedral to be bustling, but there's hardly a soul to be found here. Without any goings on, I'll have to move soon. To a place I could help the gullible by teaching the good word.
Gull? You want to... Oh, I see. Okay, so she's a little tricksy, a bit sus. As implied in that dialogue there, that's her now repeating herself. That will now that's her now going to move to her next location. Yeah, she's so full of crap. She's just in it for the money. She doesn't care about the miracles. She's a bit dodge. So we're gonna rest here. We're just gonna travel back to Majula. And like I said, we have plans. Ooh, yes, big plans for these souls. So let me briefly explain my plan, and just in general, just go over dual wielding, well, power stancing, really. When I say dual wielding, I mean power stancing. So once again, we're going to get two weapons of similar weapon class. So for example, we could use the mace, excuse me, and the Morning Star, which I have put in my inventory in box. I'm going to use two maces, right? And we're going to buy the second mace from Lenigrast. I'm going to show you how to get that. And we're going to use the second mace together with the first mace in each hand to power stance. It's very cool. It's very fun. Now to do this, you need 150% of the strength and dex requirements of the weapon. Or int and faith as well, if the weapon has int and faith. So this is 12 and 5. So to one hand this weapon, I need 12. I don't even have 12. What have I got? I've got like heckin' 11. So to one hand it, you need 12. To power stance it, you need, was that 18? Yeah, 18, right? And with an odd number, so 5, we're going to go for 8. I think 7 works. I think 7 does work, actually. We will try at 7, but I have in my head you always like round up. Like we'd make it 8 rather than 7. But yeah, we'll try it. We'll learn together. So what I want to do with these early souls is just put them into strength. So we're going to get that 18 strength. First of all, for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, you know, we're being prepared. We know what we've got. We've got a goal in mind. But also, as you can see, this mace has a B scaling in strength. So the more strength we have, the more damage this weapon is going to do. So, oh yeah, give her the shard. I forgot about that. Give her the shard. It's a good thing she says that. Like her little, by the way, you have a shard. You should give it to me. I'm like, oh yeah, so I should. Right, level up. Level up, level up, level up. Strength, so 18. Beautiful. She's got her little feather out. She's so cute. I love her. I love her. We could go further, actually. I don't know why, you know, death is always around the corner. There's no huge need to hang on to this many souls. And we're going to level up endurance next. So 18 strength. We're going to be doing tons of damage. 3 endurance is bad. It's really bad. It's so bad for a melee character. It got us through Dragonrider, no bother, because those like stone giants are pretty slow, but we are definitely going to need more of that. So that's what I recommend going into. We've got 8 now, and as you can see, my stamina bar is so much bigger. We're going to need quite a big stamina bar if we're going to be power stancing. So very importante. We're going to be a strength, endurance, ADP, killing machine. Anyway, right, I know this part was like kind of short, but just in the interest of keeping everything coherent, and like that was Heide's Tower of Flame. In the next part, we're going to go to Forest of the Fallen Giants. We're going to get the key to Leningrast's blacksmith, open the blacksmith, get the second mace, continue, do the first boss of Forest of Fallen Giants. Hey, maybe we'll even do the second boss of Forest of Fallen Giants. Maybe the next part will be double the length to make up for this one being a little shorter. Who knows? Either way, thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more Souls videos just like this, walkthroughs, tips videos, maybe Elden Ring content one day when I stop being a hermit. Either way, I have been Rach and you have been super awesome. Thank you for all your support. I'll see you in the next video.